countdown to blast off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Theater. Lord Blood-Rah, good! Welcome.
Oh, my lords and ladies, geeks, geekerellas, geekulas, and geekeritas. I am Lord Blood-Rah, and this is Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Theater. And tonight, we have the third most popular film from a renowned, well, at least in geek circles, filmmaker. The always entertaining auteur, Edward D. Wood Jr. Tonight, from 1955, it's the unintentionally mirth-filled mad science tale, Bride of the Monster. Now, I believe this is Ed Wood's third most popular film after his best-known work, 1957's classic Plan 9 from Outer Space, and his first feature, the notorious and autobiographical Glenn or Glenda. Bride of the Monster is easily the biggest budget film Ed ever directed, at an estimated cost of $70,000, where most of his other films had much, much lower budgets. Well, without further ado, I give to you, starring horror legend Bela Lugosi, written, produced, and directed by the great Ed Wood. Here is Bride of the Monster.
Well, it sure ain't natural. I'm getting away from this lightning catcher while I still can. Oh, you'll be soaked to the bone before you get 10 yards. Well, I'd rather be soaked than barbecued. It's impossible to make it to the main road. Maybe we can make it over to the old Willow's place. Are you out of your mind? You actually believe in that monster? Well, but don't take the stone's face. Oh, that's your racetrack. lived in 15 years. It's deserted. It is, huh? I thought you said this place was deserted. Well, it's supposed to be. I don't get it.
What do you want?
Let's get out of here. We didn't think anybody lived here. It was all his idea. We thought maybe we'd get out of the rain. It looks like it's going to last all night. It's pretty bad out there.
Oh, no, you can't stay.
Oh, be reasonable.
You can't stay.
We might catch pneumonia out there.
You're not welcome in my house. Go away now. Go, go, go. Lobo. No. Just
The monster! Now do you believe in those newspaper stories?
you hear that, Lobo? You're the monster. Perhaps one day you will meet the monster.
That was the monster. But I wouldn't give see a couple of cops right about now. Come on. You get these straps off of me. Let me loose. Do you hear me?
Lobo hears, but he cannot speak. Lobo is mute. Because of the storm, I was afraid We're not going to have guests tonight.
Lobo! You're too rough with my patience.
Already he tires of our humble hospitality.
I said, let me out of here.
At the moment, I'm afraid it is impossible.
Who are you?
Vornov. Dr. Eric Vornov. The name will mean little to you.
But of course, the name Bela Lugosi means a lot to horror fans all over the world. He was the screen's immortal Count Dracula from the 1931 Universal classic that began the Universal monster cycle, along with countless other classic performances, many of which, unfortunately, were in Poverty Row B movies. Our feature film tonight, Bride of the Monster, was made in 1955, towards the end of his career when Mr. Lugosi was struggling to find work. His last major feature film had been 1948's Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, 7 years prior. Ed Wood provided film work and friendship for Bela while he was dealing with a crippling drug addiction, depression, and poverty, starring him in his semi-autobiographical cult classic Glen or Glenda in 1953 as the godlike commentator, The Scientist. Bride of the Monster followed. Then, the film Ed Wood is most remembered for, 1959's Plan 9 from Outer Space, released 3 years after Lugosi's death. But that's a story for a whole other film. Do you love horror, science fiction, B-movies, horror hosts, old-time radio, just plain spooky stuff? Then you should sign up at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah. You'll be supporting the production of Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Theater, presenting the best, worst, and wildest horror films ever made. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, featuring the best of old-time radio horror. Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour, showing classic 1950s sci-fi shows for Star Cadets of all ages. Plus, you'll get exclusive access to bonus content like Behind the Curtains of the Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, a deep dive into radio horror, Lord Blood-Rah's B-movie reviews, a look at a classic low-budget drive-in feature, and much more. Sign up today at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah for the love of horror.
Alone in a graveyard at midnight. This is Lewis Moffat, a freshman at State College of Medicine, on his way to fulfill a fraternity hazing assignment, a victim of fear.
I'm studying medicine not because Dad was a doctor, but because, well, I feel I have the qualifications that'll make a good doctor. For instance, I'm not afraid of any of it. I'm not afraid of the blood or the corpses or the operations.
Mr. John Doe left this world with one possession on him, a gold ring.
Here displaying false courage to the amazement of his fellow students.
Hey, why all the curiosity?
Oh, I just wondered if Lou's assignment was as weird as mine.
Weird? Yeah, I guess that is the word for it. Weird.
We dare you to see the picture that Hollywood was afraid to exhibit. And the slithering hand came forth. Could life have endured therein?
As we return to Bride of the Monster, Dr. Vornov is about to carry out some kind of mad experiment on an innocent victim. Let's see how it turns out.
What are you doing to me? You will be soon as big as a giant. The strength of 20 men. Or, like all the others, dead. Turn off the switch. Strange, Lobo. Our friend always returns home after his long, tiresome swim.
What's your name?
You find out.
We will. Hey, watch that cigarette. What were you doing in the swamp?
Watch it to you.
That's enough of that, Buster.
No Tanktown jail can hold me. I'll be out of this here rat trap in 24 hours.
That's what you think. Vagrancy will hold you for 72 hours. Take him downstairs and book him.
All right, let's go.
Let go of me, I said. Can't do that to me. Let go.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
What do you mean, where do I think I'm going? I got Captain Robbins' newspapers.
You have you? And since when you don't leave the captain's papers with me?
Since the captain told me to bring them in myself. When you read them first, you mess them up.
Hold your tongue and give me those papers. I'll have you locked up for peddling without a license.
Kelton, I got a license.
Want to bet I can make it expire all of a sudden? Here's the late editions, Captain. Look, why can't I work on this case?
Get back to your desk.
Yes, sir.
And Kelton,
Yes, sir.
I told the boy to bring the papers in himself.
Yes, sir. But if you ask me...
I didn't.
Yes, sir.
And Kelton,
Yes, sir.
where's Lieutenant Craig?
In his office, I think.
Send him in.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Come in.
Hi, Captain.
Hello, Dick. Sit down.
Thanks.
Seen today's papers?
Is there anyone who hasn't?
Well, there's the one nice thing about birds. They never cause anybody any trouble. Your girlfriend writes a good story.
She thinks so. Anything new?
No.
12 disappearances around this place and nothing to go on.
And nothing this time either.
I've been around that swamp so many times, I'm getting web-footed. It's been fired recently.
It's been fired several times recently. Jake Long's wife identified it a little while ago. The coat belonged to Leif McRae, his partner. They went hunting out by Marsh Lake. Never returned.
Not much left of it.
The boys found it floating in the lake.
What about the rifle?
About a mile from the old willow place.
All ties together.
But it doesn't prove anything.
You think there's anything in these monster stories?
Your girlfriend does.
What about you?
The police don't believe in monsters. Facts are our business. Facts and only facts, and don't you forget it.
I'm telling you, the captain isn't seeing nobody. Now, please be a good girl, Miss Lawton, and go.
Captain Robbins, will you tell this Junior G man to let me go?
Kelton.
Yes, sir?
Let her go.
Just as you say, Captain.
It used to be a newspaper reporter could get information around this place.
What in the world do you mean?
Now he makes like a comic. Dick Craig, I don't put much stock in the future success of our married life if already you're holding out secrets on me. You've been dodging me all day.
Where'd you get an idea like that?
You mean you haven't been dodging me?
No.
And all those times I called and Kelton said the line was busy, it really was.
Yes.
Okay, let's have the story on Lake Marsh and the monster.
Monster.
I thought so.
There are no such thing as monsters. This is the 20th century.
Don't count on it. Monsters, I mean.
Now, Janet.
Don't you now Janet me, and you can count our engagement off.
You don't mean that.
Yes, I do.
No, she doesn't.
I most certainly do.
Well, then give him back the ring.
What?
If you're throwing over the marriage, give him back the ring.
Now, Chief,
Captain, give him back the rock. It's the only fair thing.
I'd rather throw it in Lake Marsh first. Besides, we've got to leave our personal lives out of our business lives.
As it should be.
As I've been saying all along.
Dog. Now, what about the monster story?
Well, that's your own story. You wrote it and you're stuck with it. There's no such thing as monsters.
Bunk, 2 more men have vanished up at Lake Marsh. That makes 12 in 3 months. Everything points to an inhuman violence. Or do you still stick to the alligator devouring routine? You're withholding news from the public.
Janet, you may not believe this, but you've got all the story there is.
You're right, I don't believe it.
Well, nevertheless, it's the truth, except for the monster. Figment of your very vivid imagination. Why, we've got nothing more to go on than what you reported to the paper.
The figment of my imagination is something I believe, and you haven't been able to disprove it.
We've conducted every possible search. Monsters, it's fantastic. You know that. Our business is dealing in facts, evidence. Can't you see that? Men disappearing. There's plenty of quicksand out there.
Yeah, 12 went down in the same place.
Well, we're doing our best to solve it.
Maybe your best isn't good enough.
Janet!
No, I mean it. No clues. What's this? A dancing costume? And this, a pogo stick?
Well, I've got to admit those were found at the lake. But remember, they were in your own story.
No human did this.
So you say.
Well, looks like I run into a dead end around here. Okay, if you boys want to play a game of secrets, there's nothing left for me to do but take a run out to Lake Marsh myself.
Over my dead body.
That could be arranged. Goodbye.
She's just crazy enough to do what she says.
You know what, Captain?
What?
I think you're right.
And so we are introduced to the bumbling but ever so eager lawman, Kelton the Cop, played by Paul Marco. This is the first film in what could be called the Kelton the Cop trilogy, as he is featured in this film, Plan 9 from Outer Space, and an Ed Wood film thought lost for years, 1957's Night of the Ghouls. In all three, Kelton the Cop is the put-upon comic relief who deals with supernatural menace. Kind of like Ed Wood's version of Kolchak the Night Stalker. And you know, I'll bet in some perfect alternate universe, that exists. Old Time Radio Horror. Experience the subtle magic of old-time radio horror every week with Lord Blood-Rah's nerve-wracking auditorium. Chilling audio nightmares from radio classics like Lights Out, The Witch's Tale, Dark Fantasy, and many more. Available on YouTube and most podcast providers. Lord Blood-Rah's nerve-wracking auditorium. Please leave your eyes at the door. You will not need them.
Larry!
From the exotic geisha houses of Tokyo to the back alleys of the Ginza Strip comes the terrifying news of a fiendish creature that threatens to destroy all who stand in his way. This is the frightening story of an American reporter in Tokyo who unwittingly became the victim of a shocking scientific experiment that turned him into a horrible mutant, half man, half monster, the Manster.
What happened? He got away. I think I know where he's going, to Tara's. Follow me. Right.
There's panic in the streets as the unheard of terror of a half man, half monster runs wild through the city.
There he goes!
Don't miss The Manster, a genuine thriller in the most frightening sense of the word.
As we return to Bride of the Monster, intrepid yet foolhardy reporter Janet is going out to Lake Marsh to investigate the mysterious disappearance of 12 men and rumors of a monster stalking the swamp. Rumors she started, but still, she's investigating.
Hi, Tilly.
Hi, Janet. Long time no see.
Tilly, do you remember a couple of years ago in the real estate section when the old Willow place out on Lake Marsh was up for sale against back taxes?
Seems to me that was around November or December of 48. Want to see the files?
Yes.
Just a minute. Here we are. October to December 48. In the top file there.
I won't be long.
Take your time. I ain't going anyplace, and neither are they. Find what you wanted, Janet?
Yes, thanks. Sorry to leave such a mess for you.
Well, that's what I get paid for.
Be you, dear Tilly. Call the boss. Tell him I'll be gone the rest of the day. I'll report in later.
Sure thing. On something hot?
Oh, it could be. Oh, and Dick. Call him at headquarters. Break my dinner date with him. Tell him I have an ulcer or something.
Leave it to me. I fix.
Okay.
Hi, Janet.
Oh, hi, Marge.
Janet, still on the monster hunt?
What do you think?
I think the boss has been looking for you all day. Something about the police wanting those monster stories 86th. You've got the whole town in a panic.
I didn't hear you.
I said
I know what you said, but I didn't hear you.
I get it. See you later.
Lieutenant Craig has been working on the case a long time, Professor. I'd like him to hear what you just told me.
I should be happy to cooperate.
Oh, hello, Dick. Professor Vladimir Ostrowski, Lieutenant Craig.
Glad to meet you, Professor.
How do you do?
Professor, will you bring him up to date?
Lieutenant Craig, have you ever heard of Loch Ness?
I think so. That's a lake in Scotland, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Then perhaps you are familiar with the Loch Ness Monster.
Vaguely.
A few years ago, I was called in by the British police to investigate the appearance of a monster at Loch Ness, with the thought that it was some creature left over from a bygone age. I am considered an authority on the subject of prehistoric monsters. However, I must admit that my investigation failed to get the desired results, in that I did not see the monster myself, but others did. There are sworn statements.
Professor, is it your theory that perhaps the Loch Ness Monster crossed the ocean and came to the swamp?
I consider that possibility extremely remote. But the cases do bear a certain similarity in that there are so many varied descriptions of this so-called monster. And I thought perhaps with my knowledge of such things, and with your permission, of course, that I might be able to shed some light on this mystery. That is the reason for my presence here.
What do you think, Dick?
Well, there's no denying we need help of some sort.
And you'll keep your findings secret for the time being?
As you will.
You don't mind a little company?
How do you mean, company?
Lieutenant Craig, at times the police can be quite useful.
I should be most happy to have Lieutenant Craig's assistance. How soon can you be ready to leave for Lake Marsh, Lieutenant Craig?
I'm ready.
No, I suggest we wait until morning. There was a storm brewing when I came in, and it is so close to nightfall.
According to reports, the monster strikes only at night.
Undoubtedly true, but the preliminary investigation should take place in daylight. The night, the monster, all in good time.
Sounds logical.
Whatever you say.
Now, gentlemen, since I just arrived in town this afternoon, if you will excuse me, I should like to return to my hotel.
Certainly, sir.
Good day, Captain.
Professor.
Until morning, Lieutenant Craig.
I'll be here. Strange sort of bird. Where do I meet him?
Here, 10 o'clock.
That'll give him plenty of daylight. Well, see you later.
Got a date?
What do you think?
I'll say you don't.
I don't?
A girl from her office called in, said that Janet had a headache or some such thing.
If she's gone to Lake Marsh alone, I'll take her across my knee. If it's the last thing I do.
Well, it probably would be. Watch him, Dick.
Ostrowski?
Just a hunch.
Right.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Eric Vornov. You had a severe shock.
How did I get here?
Oh, that's not important for the moment. What you need now is rest. Rest. You will sleep. Sleep. For the lovely young lady. Sleep.
Well, here we are at the fork in the road, and like they say in all good westerns, which way to go?
Well, that's the road to the Willis place. Let's take a chance on that one.
Okay. You know, I get to hate this swamp more every time I come out here.
You just weren't born for swamp duty, Marty.
I guess you're right. I'd like to transfer to a department as far away from here as possible. The wind and the rain gives this place a gleam that just isn't natural. And the ground is alive with crawling things, crawling death.
You're right there, Marty. This swamp is a monument to death. Snakes, alligators, quicksand, all bent on one thing: destruction. Something strange about all this rain.
The lightning's been going crazy, too. Maybe it's like the papers say, all these atom bomb explosions distorted the atmosphere.
Maybe.
You know, if I were this Professor Strotsky guy, I wouldn't come out in this swamp without a guide.
You know, that's the one thing I can't figure. He comes to the office with all these monster stories, makes an appointment to come out here with us, then goes off by himself.
Are you sure he came out here?
Where else could he go? Well, let's get at it.
Hi, Janet.
Oh, hi, Marge.
Janet, still on the monster hunt?
What do you think?
I think the boss has been looking for you all day. Something about the police wanting those monster stories 86.
Marge there was played by Dolores Fuller, one-time live-in girlfriend of Ed Wood. She starred in 2 Ed Wood films, Glen or Glenda and the crime drama Jailbait from 1954. Ed wrote the much larger role of Janet the reporter in this film for Dolores, but Loretta King ended up playing the part. The reason why is controversial. According to Dolores Fuller, Loretta King promised to fund the film if Ed cast her in the female lead. Loretta King has always denied that. The 1994 Tim Burton film Ed Wood portrays the whole affair as a complete misunderstanding, Ed thinking King had the money to fund the film when she really didn't. But, you know, you can't really feel too badly for Dolores Fuller. She went on to write the lyrics for 12 songs for Elvis Presley films, including Rockahula Baby from Blue Hawaii and Do the Clam from Girl Happy. From Ed Wood movies to hit songwriter. Well done, Dolores. Attention, Star Cadets! This is Captain Paxar of the Interdimensional Peace Force speaking. All Star Cadets are ordered to report every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Earth Pacific Standard Time to these internet coordinates, where you will be sent on a daring mission through time, space, and alternate dimensions. alongside such classic retro sci-fi heroes as Flash Gordon, Captain Zero, Tom Corbett's Space Cadet, Space Angel, and many others. Again, report to these internet coordinates every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Earth Pacific Standard Time for Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour. And always remember, Star Cadets, keep the peace.
Instructions are to prepare for an attack by an unknown enemy.
That's what he meant.
Hey, who do you think you are, anyway?
Answer me, or I destroy you.
Stop.
There's something behind this, something we don't understand. The weapon he uses, it's unheard of, blasting flesh right off the bones.
Master control to fleet, set flight pattern to -.08. Increase speed.
They're coming right at us! Get down inside the cave!
Janet's car?
Yeah. There's not a trace of her.
Well, maybe after the accident, she found her way down the road and then back into town.
I've got to be sure.
Look, there's a coffee joint about 10 miles back. Let's go and check.
Let's go. Okay.
Where did you find her car? Not a sign of her? Where's Strowski? I told you not to let him out of your sight.
Right, Captain.
I don't like the looks of things. Well, get back to Strowski. I'll get word to you later.
Yeah.
You look worried, Dick.
No one. Captain Robbins, her apartment, her office. No one has heard from her since yesterday afternoon. Captain Robbins is checking further.
Okay, but what do we do?
Orders. Find Strowski.
Get me the city desk. Hello, Jim. Yeah, about the Lawton girl. He just called me, too. Who saw her last around your office?
Don't be afraid of Lobo. He's as gentle as a kitten. Put the tray down here. Lobo, that is all. Get out. I said get out. That is all. Now come, my dear. Some cream or sugar? You didn't have your breakfast yet. Now it's past noon. You must be hungry.
What happened to me?
Your automobile. An accident. Lobo brought you here to me.
What is this place and who are you?
Don't you remember I told you last night?
Did you tell me?
Yes. I'm Dr. Eric Vornov.
This is the old Willows place.
Yes. How did you know?
I checked our real estate files. A Dr. Eric Vornov bought the Willows place in November of 1948.
You are a newspaper reporter, huh?
Yes.
My name seems to mean much to you.
Well, actually, it wasn't your name I was interested in. Through the mysteries of Lake Marsh and the Willows place being right on the lake, I looked in the files to see what happened to it. Your name was there as a purchaser. I thought perhaps you might have heard something about the monster.
Oh, my dear Miss Lawton,
When did I tell you my name?
You didn't. But since you were unconscious, I took the liberty looking into your purse.
You must have seen my press card.
Yes, I did.
Well, since you knew the answers already, why the third degree, and who or what was that monster?
Oh, he's quite human. I discovered him in the wilderness of Tibet. He has been quite useful to me at times. But now, since your tiring experience, I think we have talked too much.
I'm not the least bit tired.
But you are tired. You are so tired.
Strange. Suddenly I do feel very tired.
Yes.
Very tired.
Very tired.
Hey, Bela, don't hypnotize my audience. I have a hard enough time keeping them awake as it is. Go have a coffee or a Diet Coke or something. We'll be right back.
How much Jack do you think's in that strong rock?
There's plenty of Cuban sugar, though.
Here's what happened. The general beat his friend Castro to the Cuban treasury. The strongbox is now on this boat. So are a deported American gangster and his moll. And lurking in the depths is the creature from the haunted sea.
you're a crazy, mixed-up kid.
I am perfectly adjusted to my life of crime.
Don't worry, Mary Bell. I'll save you.
It's all right. Be calm, everybody. The boat's insured.
Beware. The creature from the haunted sea.
As we return to Bride of the Monster, Dr. Vornoff has our heroine Janet captive and is about to meet the enigmatic stranger known as Professor Strowski.
Lobo, take the girl to my quarters.
Dear Professor Strowski, well, it has been a very long time.
Voronov, it is you.
You can see.
In Paris, I missed you by a month. In London, a week. At Loch Ness, by only 1 day. The monster of Lake Marsh sounded again like you.
Why that sudden interest in me, Professor Strowski?
Your experiments in atomic energy, of course.
So my dear country now believes in my work and that it can be a success.
Our government wants you to return, Voronov, to continue your research and experiments there, where you can have everything at your disposal. Why do you laugh? Surely this is not a laughing matter.
My dear Professor Strowski, 20 years ago, I was banned from my homeland, parted from my wife and son, never to see them again. Why? Because I suggested to use the atom elements for producing super beings, beings of unthinkable strength and size. I was classed as a madman, a charlatan, outlawed in a world of science which previously honored me as a genius. Now here in this forsaken jungle hell, I have proven that I am all right. Now, Professor Strowski, it is no laughing matter.
Yes. Yes, indeed, it was a tragic error. But as soon as I learned how correct your findings were, always have been, I informed those in authority. Vornoff, I have searched for you everywhere. Everywhere I hear stories of monsters. Now I am here, sent to bring you home.
Home? I have no home. Hunted, despised, living like an animal. The jungle is my home. That I will show the world that I can be its master. I will perfect my own race of people. A race of atomic supermen which will conquer the world.
Yes. Yes, of course. A truly great master race, such as I convinced my superiors only you could create. One with which our government can rule the world without debate.
You misunderstand me, Strowski. I don't intend to return home. My plans are for myself.
Are you mad, Vornoff?
One is always considered mad. You want to discover something that others cannot grasp.
Our government ordered me to bring you back.
I'm afraid you will find it rather difficult.
You see, Vornoff, I did not come alone.
Neither did I, my dear Strowski. Bring him along, Lobo. Hurry!
You may kill me, but others will come.
Silence!
You'll never get away with it, Vornoff. Vornoff, no! No, no!
Now, Professor Strowski, you will get a much closer view of the product of my genius. The alleged monster of Lake March. Your country offers fame and fortune for my return, but my price is so much more great. You will disappear, Professor Strowski, just as all the others have disappeared.
a rental car.
Think it's the one Strautsky used?
I'd make book it is. It's getting dark now. You take the car and go down to the beach. I'll go through the swamp to the old Willows place.
Okay. Oh, here. Better take this with you.
Right. Oh, Marty.
Yeah.
If you see anything suspicious, you know where I am.
Trouble is, everything in this swamp is suspicious.
Wow! Dr. Vornoff not only invented an atomic octopus, but also created an army of alligators intelligent enough to set a trap for human beings. What a genius. That speech that Bela gave there, you know.
Home. I have no home.
Yeah, that one. It's said Bela liked that speech so much that he would recite it to fans who stopped him as he walked down Hollywood Boulevard. That sure beats meeting a homemade Donald Duck, doesn't it?
Dance, baby, dance, come and dance with me. Hear the beat of the pounding string. Ride, baby, ride, come and ride with me. Let your feet go easy and free.
What do you make of this?
Where does the other end go?
It dumps into the ocean.
It looks exactly like the South American Fantigua fish. I hope you can take one alive, Sheriff.
I still believe that a human clawed that girl to death.
The Beach Girls and the Monster, starring John Hall, Sue Casey, and the glamorous Watusi dancing girls from Hollywood's famed Whiskey A Go-Go nightclub. Music by Frank Sinatra Jr.
You got a monster in the surf.
Chicks, do you have a problem? You won't have after you meet the monster on the beach. If you see this ghoul, play it cool. Beauties in bikinis, laughing, singing, surfing, sinning. Beach party lovers making hey-hey in the moonlight while the monster waits and watches. Yeah. This one will kill you.
What can I do for you, sir?
Captain Robbins. Homicide.
Why, Captain, I haven't murdered anyone in a month of Sundays.
Did Janet Lawton stop by here late yesterday afternoon?
Oh, just like a policeman. No sense of humor. Yes, she stopped by late in the afternoon.
Remember the time?
Well, not to the second. She came in around 2 and left around 3:30. Then again, that isn't so late, is it?
What'd she want?
She was looking for information.
That I'm sure of. Do you happen to know what that information was?
Well, sure.
Well?
Well, what?
Must we play games?
I didn't know we were.
What was Miss Lawton looking for in the files?
Oh, well, why didn't you ask that in the first place instead of all your chit-chat? She was looking over the real estate files in October, November, and December of 1948. In particular, the sale of the old Willows place out on Lake Marsh.
Did she find what she was looking for?
Well, I guess she did. At least she found the sales notice. I saw it myself after she rushed out. She left the paper open at the November 26th date. Want to see it?
Well, very much.
Well, it's right up there. I haven't had time to put it back yet.
Yeah, Dr. Eric Varnoff. Give me all you have on him. I'll hang on.
Now we're ready for the girl. Dear, lovely. Strap her to the table. Do as I command you. I teach you to disobey. You will obey. Let her in. Let her in. I command you. Get the equipment ready.
hurt just for a moment. But then you will emerge a woman of super strength and beauty, the bride of the atom.
You're insane. My paper knows where I am. You can't hurt me and get away with it.
As soon as my experiments are completed, no one can ever touch me. I will make the law. Either way, whether I succeed or fail, it will not hurt you very long.
Let me go! Let me go!
You heard what you said.
Who are you?
For one thing, the police. Now turn her loose and make it fast.
You have the advantage for the moment.
Stop talking and turn her loose.
Take him out quickly.
Where's Lieutenant Craig? We found Strotsky's car down the road. The lieutenant took off through the swamp, sent me down here to the beach to wait for him.
Where was he heading?
Old Willow's place.
Kelton?
Yes, sir?
Now, this is your first time out. Don't mess up the operation.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Martin, you stay with me.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
I'm sure my experiments on the young lady will interest you.
I'll live to see you hang.
There are much more important things to attend. I hope the straps are not too cutting. Such lovely skin should not be marred.
Do you love horror, science fiction, B-movies, horror hosts, old-time radio, just plain spooky stuff? Then you should sign up at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah. You'll be supporting the production of Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Theater, presenting the best, worst, and wildest horror films ever made. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, featuring the best of old-time radio horror. Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour, showing classic 1950s sci-fi shows for Star Cadets of all ages. Plus, you'll get exclusive access to bonus content like Behind the Curtains of the Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, a deep dive into radio horror. Lord Blood-Rah's B-movie reviews, a look at a classic low-budget drive-in feature, and much more. Sign up today at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah for the love of horror.
From ancient Genesis to the modern screen is the name written in blood. Ega!
If I could just call you on the phone. The code of the ghost at the sign of the toad. Nobody lives on the Brownsville Road.
Thrill to the newest recording star, Archibald Jr.
Oh, they're screaming this way.
See ravishing Marilyn Manning in a thrilling, chilling story. The last of the prehistoric giants sees his first girl. Noah. And mysterious newsmen search deep in giant country for the last of the ancient cavemen. See a tough giant tamed by the soft hands of his captive woman. See him sacrifice his ageless beard for her love. Then lose her to a boy in a dune buggy, escaping a burning desert. Iga's primitive passion was love or kill. Hear Iga talk, the ancient language of love, used at the beginning of time. See Iga!
Now back to Bride of the Monster, where the mad Dr. Vornoff is about to turn Janet into an atomic superwoman. Or Friar, whichever comes first.
Jan, get me the gun.
You can't, he'll kill you.
We will anyway. Stay here. Turn that thing off.
Well, it looks like Lobo has had enough. The lovable but formidable Lobo was, of course, played by professional wrestler Tor Johnson, known in the ring as the Swedish Angel. He actually had a pretty good acting career with 53 credits to his name, playing, what else? Mostly strongmen and heavies. He appeared in 1949's Mighty Joe Young as one of the strongmen who plays tug-of-war with the giant gorilla, and has performed with Abbott Costello, Bob Hope, and Martin and Lewis. This is the first of 3 Ed Wood films for Tor. He played Inspector Craig in Ed Wood's classic Plan 9 from Outer Space, and Lobo one more time in Night of the Ghouls. He only ever had a leading role in one film, 1961's The Beast of Yucca Flats. And if you've ever seen it, you know that the term yucca is very fitting.
The explosive birth of a strange new world, the planet Nova, millions of miles away in the eerie silence of outer space. Man's rocket takeoff on an amazing voyage of exploration with a strange crew of 4 daring adventurers on board. A professor from an American university, a biochemist to run tests on whatever life exists, a doctor to check the known and the unknown medical data, a mineralogist to search for the radioactive materials that gave this new world birth. See their terrifying battle with savage beasts never known on Earth. The wild fear when mankind is brought face to face with giant mastodons from eons long past. A prehistoric world comes to life again today, millions of miles away in space. The horror of huge, maddened monsters raging for the kill. The battle of the Titans.
Hand me that berry pistol.
Are you thinking of Ralph and Pat?
I hate to bring them into this. It's our only way out of here.
Now, on to the conclusion of Bride of the Monster, where Lobo has subjected Dr. Voronov to one of his own radioactive treatments. Let's see the results.
Kelton, you station yourself here. You men surround the house. Martin, you come with me.
All right, Captain. Ready?
Right. is on fire. Let's get out of here before we get roasted.
Captain, look! What do you suppose that was?
Well, whatever it is, get it. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Dick. He got Jan. Get him.
Oh.
No, don't shoot. Might hit Jan. Let's go.
Marty, Joe, give me a gun.
Here, I'll watch you.
No! Now get on up over that ledge. Get up over on top of him.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Oh, stop the chatter and get in action.
Yes, sir.
Now he's clear. Give it to him. Tampered in God's domain.
Assume the position and open your minds wide. It's time for your cranial cavity search. Yes, my lords and ladies, the cranial cavity search. Here's a chance for all you great geeks out there to prove your geek cred by showing what you know. And tonight's cranial cavity search question is, which Bela Lugosi film is this image from? Which Lugosi film is that from? Is it A, Mark of the Vampire, B, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, C, Spooks Run Wild, or D, The Corpse Vanishes? Which film was that scene from? We'll find out after these obscene commercial interruptions. And the answer to tonight's cranial cavity search question. Which Bela Lugosi film is this scene from? It was D, The Corpse Vanishes. Yes, The Corpse Vanishes from 1942. One of Lugosi's better Poverty Row features. It concerns the efforts of Dr. Lorenz, played by Lugosi, to resurrect his dead wife using the corpses of brides he steals from the wedding altar. A truly touching love story. But now our short feature means a big surprise for you, and tonight we have a TV rarity we've presented before here in the Wrackin Theater. In fact, it's featured as an extra in the Devil Bat episode in our Bela Lugosi Triple Terror Collection DVD. Go to LordBlood-Rah.com for more information on that. It's Bela Lugosi's 1953 appearance on the TV series You Asked For It. On You Asked For It, viewers would write in every week asking to see various things, performers, historical reenactments, etc. On one episode, somebody asked to see Bela Lugosi, and this is the result. Here is Bela Lugosi on You Asked For It.
In a blood-curdling new role, You Asked For It. In the small villages nestled among the Transylvania mountains is told a legend that on the hour of midnight, strange human-like creatures possessed by the devil himself would come out of their graves to claim the souls of innocents and turn them into vampire bats.
A warning. What you are about to see is not for the faint-hearted. However, a Mrs. Harriet Fraser of Springfield, Massachusetts, asked for it. She wrote, "Ever since seeing Dracula, I have been an ardent admirer of that fine character actor, Bela Lugosi. I have missed his unusual roles on the screen recently. Could you arrange for me to see him on your show, Mrs. Fraser?" Mrs. Fraser, with a great deal of pride that we present to you now the great character actor, Bela Lugosi, in a television premiere of a new role, that of Master Illusionist. For you now, he presents that weird vampire bat illusion. You asked for it.
get the girl. The cabinet. Open it. When you awake, you will not remember what I now say. You hear me?
Yes, Master.
From now on, you will carry out any suggestion that reaches you from my brain. Instantly, without question. When I will you to do a thing, it shall be done. Remember, Miss Fraser, you asked for it. Yes, Mrs. Fraser, you asked for it. But we all enjoyed seeing Mr. Lugosi again in a bit of stage magic. Mr. Lugosi, you were a man of many, many rare talents there. Thank you. You're very generous. The girl, is she all right? Oh, she's excellent. May I present her? Miss Shirley Patterson. Oh, lovely lady, Miss Patterson. Delightful for you to return to us. I congratulate you, too, on the splendid work you did in RKO's 3D thriller, That Second Chance. That's the first 3D that boasts the names of people like Robert Mitchum, there's Linda Darnell, and...
That's right, Jack Palance. Oh, it was really a thriller. You know, they have that cable car way up in the sky, and Jack Palance and Mitchum have a terrific fight in it. It's really full of suspense. I know you'll enjoy seeing it.
We shall indeed. Second Chance. Thank you very much for helping us. And Mr. Lugosi, how about your plans? When are you going to bring your distinguished acting back to the screen, sir?
There are a few things coming up. The first is a three-dimensional motion picture called Phantom Ghoul. And the second is a television series which will be produced by Ted Allen and called Dr. Acula.
Dracula?
Dracula? For heaven's sake, no. Just Dr. Acula.
I see. We'll be looking forward to seeing Dr. Acula. And thank you very much, Mr. Lugosi.
Thank you, Art. I appreciate it.
And Mrs. Fraser, we are all very glad that you asked for it.
Unfortunately, neither The Phantom Ghoul, also known as The Ghoul Goes West, or the TV series Dr. Acula ever came about. Both would have involved Ed Wood in one capacity or another, And the scenes of Lugosi in Plan 9 from Outer Space were actually preliminary scenes intended for The Ghoul Goes West. Poor Ed Wood just never got the funding together for either project. Well, my lords and ladies, thank you so much for watching, and I want to invite you all back again next week when we'll do whatever this is all over again. As always, I am Lord Blood-Rah saying, geek out.